Did you know that the start of every web design project can actually cost you a lot of time by setting up plugins, themes, and so on? What if I tell you that you can save hours each and every time you start a brand new project using ZipWP? Now let me show you how it works. So over here, I'm logged into my ZipWP account. Now over here on the top right, if I click here on this drop down, I can go straight to blueprint. So you can see I have an option to create a blank website, complete website, and blueprint. So I'm going to say new from blueprint. So this blueprint now, if I click on this drop down, you notice that we have new DV5. So if I select that, I can give this a name. So I'm just going to call this Mac test, for example, and this could be a client's website. And now I can just click on create a website. So as this website is being created, guess what? It is going to have my DV5 installed. It's also going to have any plugins that I've set, any pages that I've set, which I need in every design project. So now that I can see everything is ready, I'm going to click on one-click login. And let's take a look and see what has happened here. So you notice that, this video has been running for less than 2 minutes, but I have DV5 installed. So I'm going to go in and click on new site so that we can see that it is Divi. Look at that. Now this is Divi installed. I can now get started and start designing my website right away. Of course, you may need to update, WordPress to the latest version and so on. But the most important thing is I have DV5 over here installed. So you're probably wondering, well, how was I able to achieve this? Well, so to create a brand new blueprint, which you use each and every time you design a website, what you need to do is to come over here to create new. So what we're going to do is we are going to say blank website. So we're going to call this DV5 starter. So definitely it's not a multi-site. Now over here we have some options. I can, go in and generate a random domain name and all of that, but I'm not going to spend too much time with that. I'm just going to keep things very simple. I'm going to just click on that and then click on create new website. So what has happened in less than 5 seconds, I now have a brand new website here called DV5 starter. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on one-click login. And what I'm going to do is go in and install everything that I need, which I use every single time. So in this case, I'm just going to disable all this. So I'm going to come over here, disable all that because I don't need this at the beginning of every website. Next, I know I have an update here. Let me just go ahead and handle this. Okay, so this is Akismet. I don't use this anyway, so I'm just going to delete that. And hello Dolly, I don't use that, so I'm going to delete that too. Okay, so this is the time now where I start installing all the plugins that I use. Okay, so the first plugin I'm going to use is called Anti-Spam B. All right, so here we go. You can see here it's been installed 700,000 times. So this will just basically protect my website from any spam and all that. So I'm going to click here on install now. And in a moment, this is going to go ahead and install, and then I'm just going to activate it. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to add another plugin. So this time it's called Fluent Auth. So I use this plugin every single time because it takes care of my logins and basic security on my website. So I'm going to click on install now, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate. Okay, great. The next one is Fluent Forms. Okay, so let's search for that. So I'm going to search for Fluent Forms. I'm not sure if there's a space, but I'm sure this will come up. There we go. Fluent Forms. I'm going to go ahead and install that. So I'm going to go ahead and install pretty much every plugin that I use. I'm sure you get the idea here. The next step now is to install DV5. So I'm going to come over here to Appearance, just hover over here, click on Themes, and then I'm going to click on Add Theme. Click on Upload. Now I've already gone ahead and downloaded it, so I have it right here. Double click on that, and then I'm going to click on Install Now. So DV5 now is installing. So that means every single time that I decide to create a brand new website, this is going to be installed by default in every instance. And this is going to save me a lot of time. All right, so let's go ahead now and activate this. Okay, great. So now that it's activated, I can log in, add my license, but I'm not going to do that right now. So back over here on the dashboard. So we can see here that if I go to my site here, it's not set up as a home page yet. Pretty much everything is all over the place. Let me just refresh that one more time. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back and I'm going to set my home page. So I'm going to come over here to pages and then click on add page. So my very first page is going to be the home page. So I'm going to close that and I'm just going to say home, use Divi Builder. And then I'm going to publish it. Next, I know I'm definitely going to need a contact page. So we're going to go ahead and add that back over here. I want to say add page. So this time it's going to be a contact. Use Divi Builder. Now you'll know in a moment why I'm using this use Divi Builder option. Okay, great. So at this point, we can go in. In fact, before I do anything, I'm going to come over here, click on this little icon here on the builder settings, scroll all the way down and then enable admin bar. That way I can work really fast. Now, do you see when I enable the admin bar, I can just come over here and add a new page. So this one here is the about page. Oops. Okay, this is the about page. Use Divi Builder. And I know on every single website, I have a dashboard page. So let's exit from here. And this time I'm going to add the dashboard and the login page. So here, let's go with the dashboard. Use Divi Builder. Okay, we're going to publish that. Okay, finally, I'm going to need the login page. So I'm going to click on add. There we go, login. Excellent. So now that I have my login page, I have all my pages set. The next step now is to make sure that all my pages are lined up correctly over here on the top. Okay, so I'm going to click now on exit and then let's just rearrange our pages here. But before I do that, I just want to make sure I delete these two pages here. And I'm going to come to bold actions, move to trash, and then click on apply. Okay, so now I have the pages that I really need for every design project. So what I'm going to do now is to head over now to appearance, and then we're going to go to menus. Now it's important that I come over here to menus because I need to make sure that I create my own menu, which I then apply to the primary menu. And then I'm just going to say create menu. Okay, so this is where I get to say view all pages. And then I'm going to select all. And then I'm going to add all my pages except this one. Now, do you see this? All these other pages here have Divi on them. So that's why I was making sure that I set Divi onto them. All right. So all I have to do now is to just drag and make sure they're all in the right order. There we go. All right, so we have our login page as well. So now I can say save menu. But we're not done yet because the next step now is to make sure that my home page is set to the home page. So I'm going to go to reading. And then over here on the static page, I'm just going to set this to home. Save changes. So far, so good. I'm pretty much almost there. Okay, so sometimes, depending on the type of website I'm building, if I need to have a blog, I could just add a blog page so I can have a blog archive page. So let's go ahead and add that quickly. I'm going to say add page. So we might as well do that since this is going to be our blueprint. So I'm going to say blog. Next step now is to just publish. Now notice I did not say edit with the Divi Builder. It's very important we don't do that because that's going to act as our archive page. So I'm just going to uncheck that and then say publish. Great. So now that we have this all set, we're going to come over here and then we're going to go back to our settings, reading. So for our post page, I'm going to make sure that's set to blog and then save page. Save pages. All right. So now I need to go back to appearance and menus. So the reason now is, remember, I've just added that blog page. It is not added yet. So I just want to make sure I bring it over here. So I'm going to select it add to menu, and now my blog page has now been added. So I can just add it anywhere along here and click on save menu. All right. So with that now, pretty much we are very, very close to done with our blueprint. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to head over to themes, because I need to get rid of all these themes here that I'm not using it. So I'm going to go and delete that one. I'm going to delete this one as well. And then I might as well delete that one as well. So I'm just left with the Divi Builder. Okay, excellent. So now I have a very slim setup for my designs. Now, if I had, let's say I had anything for the library, this is where I could add all my layouts to the Divi library, which means every design that I'm doing, it has all the layouts that I need. So when I start designing, I just go straight into design mode. So let's just do a quick view here. So I can see now I have my home page all set. I have my blog page over here, and it should show something. Yes, it does. And if I come over here, it's now showing me the actual blog. But of course, we're going to need to design these pages. But as you can see, this is my main Divi starter site. All right. So with that now, all I have to do now is to come back over here to ZipWP. So you see my website over here. I can name it whatever I want. So I can always go in and make that change if I need to, but I don't need to do that right now. Next, I'm now going to come over here to these three little icons, right? And now this is very, very important. You want to make sure you click on create blueprint. Okay. So if you go ahead and do that, just give it a title. So I'm going to call this new Divi 5 starter. Okay. Or I can just call it new Divi 5 alpha. How about that? Okay. So it's asking me here, publicly shareable? No, I don't want to do that because this is my personal demo. So I'm going to come over here to private. I can give it a short description here if I want to, but I'm just going to add just that and then click on create. Okay, so now it's creating. You can see on the top right here that something is happening. And once it's done, it's going to be ready for me. Okay. So let's pretend that we are now creating a brand new website from scratch for a client. So what we do now is, oh, it's still building. I almost made a mistake. I almost moved away from here. So you have to make sure that you wait until this is done. Anyways, you can see here, blueprint created successfully, which is fantastic. So back over here, I'm going to go to my dashboard. And then let's head over to our staging site. So now let's pretend we are now building a brand new website. So I'm going to come over here. Now I'm going to say from blueprint. Now notice I'm not building it from scratch. Now this is what beginner designers do. They'll build a blank website and then start installing all the plugins and then start installing pretty much everything. But we've done that because we've just spent 14 minutes doing all that. Okay, now I could have, like I said, I could have further gone in and added all my layouts from my Divi library. I could have done my footers, my headers, pretty much all that. But I just wanted to show you quickly how you can achieve this. Okay, so now it's time to create a brand new website for my client. So what we need to do now, instead of coming over here and creating a blank website and doing all the steps that we've just done, all you need to do now is to come over here to from blueprint. So here, if I click on this drop down, you're going to notice that we now have all our blueprints over here. So the one I've just created is called Divi 5 starter. I'm going to select that and then I'm going to give this a name. So the site title here is going to be Max New Client. But of course, you're going to choose your own client name. So let's go ahead now and say create website. Okay, so as you can see, my website is being created. It's happening super fast. Now this is going to have everything that I need to start every brand new project using Divi 5. All right, so it's almost done now. And by the way, for this, I'm using ZipWP. This is a fantastic service. It's full of features. And if you're a freelancer, this is the service that you want to have. It will save you a lot of time. All right, so let's go ahead now and click on one-click login, and let's take a look and see if this has worked. Fingers crossed. This should now have Divi 5 installed. And sure enough, I can see here Divi is installed. So let's go ahead and create or open a page in a new tab, and let's see if it has the home page. Yes, it has the home page over here. It has my dashboard, it has my contact, it also has my login. Usually I refresh this one more time because sometimes you have all these squares and errors, but I don't need to worry about that too much. Now let's take a look and see if all our plugins are there. So I'm going to come over here and say installed plugins, and sure enough, these are my 3 plugins. If I have more plugins, they will all show over here. If I head over now to appearance and go to themes, you're going to notice that this is our main theme. This is our Divi 5 Alpha theme. You can see here Divi 5 Alpha 16. So as you can see, this is a fantastic way of building websites super fast as a freelancer. I'm using ZipWP, and I'm telling you, ZipWP is a fantastic tool. You want to definitely have this in your toolbox as a freelance designer or even as a design agency, because it just makes the designing of websites super fast. So now let's say you've set this up, you copy this URL like that, you go to your email, send your client the link to the website, and they can see in real time how you're designing your website, and they can give you a feedback as you're designing your website. So ZipWP definitely is the tool that you want because it will save you a lot of time. Link to that is in the video description below. Go ahead and check it out. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the video description below. Until next time, see you soon.